Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode From the Depths. So, just like I mentioned in the previous episode, we are indeed going to be trying to bring in a support class ship, especially, one that specializes in missile interceptors, and that's exactly what we are looking at right now. This is the Breacher class missile boat. Let me zoom out a little bit. There we go. Very basic in build. It is a hydrofoil boat, uses jet engines for its propulsion. It is able to reach some very nice top speeds, 50 to 60 meters a second, which is great. However, the downfall is no defenses. Absolutely no defenses, except for these missile interceptors. So here's what this baby features. It has 18 fragmentation missile tubes and 14 missile interceptors, and these interceptors have a range of about 700 meters. So as long as we have, these ships within 700 meters of other enemy missiles that are out and about, this should launch the interceptors and get over there. Hopefully, we'll have to see how that pans out, but this is pretty much the ship. We're bringing in 2 of these. I wanted to have 2, I think, spread out in our fleet just to see how we do. And of course, I love the inside of this. This is really cool. And I love these new fuel storage boxes. Look at these babies. I think these are the fuel storage boxes. Let me see. Yeah. A lot of new fuel options for what you can build. I was really digging it. And I'm thinking here, once these next big updates come out for the game with localized resources and new engines, we will probably have an episode where we just focus on all the new jazz that's in the game, just so we can take a look at it. I'm even thinking about doing an episode over the advanced cannon systems. We haven't really looked at that yet, and I have spent a couple of hours looking at those, built my first custom cannon, or advanced custom cannon. It was pretty cool. So yeah, that's just, stuff we'll be looking at in the future. So this is the Breacher class missile boat. On top of that, we will also be bringing in the PInhead. Now this is a very basic ship. It's very colorful. It's got great colors going on here. Let me find it. Let's go ahead and spawn in there. Look at that. It's gonna have so many colors. Woo, baby. Yes, also a very defenseless ship, and it has, let me see here, 16 missiles and a cannon. Pretty basic, and even the missile makeup is pretty basic on this. Hang on, let me slow things back down again, just so we can get over here and take a look at this baby. Come on, there we go. Yeah, so short range thruster, 4 fuel tanks, 1 turn, 2 fins, safety fuse, 2 frag warheads, let's see. Ooh boy. Really big cone angle on these babies. Probably wasn't adjusted. That's okay though. And an infrared seeker. And then we got a cannon on the front. Oh, what are you all doing? Boy, if this is happening in the vehicle designer, I can't wait to see what happens with our fleet. Oh man. So anyways, these are the ships we are bringing in. Oh great, looks like we do have some healing capabilities. That is absolutely fantastic. We can take a look at the missiles here on the Breacher class boat. So again, very basic. Short range thruster, 2 fins, 3 fuel tanks. We got a laser beam rider. You don't see a lot of missiles using these lately. We've got some frag warheads at a 10 and a 5 cone angle. I can dig it. And then we have some, these must be the interceptors up here. Let me see if I can get on there. There we go. So short range thruster, fuel tank, 2 fins, 2 fuel tanks scattered about there, and a missile interceptors. So this is what we're going to be bringing in. Now here's the fleet that we are adding the Breachers and the PInhead to. It's the Breacher Squeechers fleet. I've also added the Gutstorms and the Aerial Destroyer 7 to this fleet, as I thought they could really be a potentially good boon for us here within the fleet. However, we will be focusing on the Breacher and the PInhead first. As far as spawn order goes, let's go ahead and speed time up. And I'm thinking we may be able to bring in a Gutstorm and potentially an Aerial Destroyer 7, just something to give us a little bit more offensive power. And as you know, the Gutstorms also feature some really good lambs, which is another thing I want to bring in. I felt like the Dark Angels were very missile and cannon heavy. I don't believe we've seen lasers yet from these guys. So we're going to come over here. Now, as you recall, in the last episode, our Squeaky Quandoops fleet really just, we lost everybody. We lost everybody. And the remaining reprisal ship that was left, he took off. He took off down here. I don't know where he was going. He was coming after our dead blueprints, and then when he got close, he just, hit the old dusty trail, so to speak. So here's what we're going to do. You know what we're going to do first? Let's do this. I'm going to build a radar. I think we're going to build one right here so we can potentially uncover what's going on down here. So let's do that really quick. We'll just pop this baby in. Let's see here. We're going to do a new structure. Now, the funny thing is, I've had a few people comment and say, Scroat, you build the worst radars in existence. You, my friends, are completely correct. Absolutely. These are terrible radars in form. In functionality, though, they work great. You know, it doesn't really matter how they look. And the reason I do it like this, I just seal these things to the ocean bed, and I let them soar up into space. And then once we're up there, you know, we put a very simple radar dish, and it's honestly, it's enough to uncover some of the landscape, some of the fog of war. I'm really not too concerned with the look of these, to be honest. I really just want to get the functionality from it, you know, the fog of war uncovering. So here's what we'll do. We'll get the strategic antenna. We'll pop on mirror mode. I like to put 3. I don't know why. And then we'll put some dishes going down. And then we'll connect some to these guys. And bada bing, bada boom, we are good to go. Look at this, so ugly. So horrible looking. It's just, you will have to forgive me for the awfulness of the way I make these dishes look. But, you know what? It works. Totally works. And of course, in order to build a structure, it means you have to first build a vehicle. The building system in the game is weird. There we go, got rid of that. So yeah, we've uncovered a good bit here. Let's get our breacher Squeechers, and let's go over here to this 85 force square, and let's just see how we do. Let's see how we fare. I'm excited about having a support ship. You know, I guess it's not really 100% a support ship, but that's one of the main functions of it, and I love that. We really don't get a lot of ships that do that. Alright, let's see what we're going to be dealing with. Something rather large, or rather fast. Oh my gosh, what is this? Let me guess, restitution primes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 restitution primes. My gosh. Alright, let's get everybody over here. Now here's a bug. I've learned my lesson on this. If you have ships that have a high altitude and also ships that should sit on the surface of the ocean, if you move them in bulk, it will move everything on the surface below the surface. It is definitely a bug. I don't know what's going on there. Alright, we're going to move our breachers, you know, our support ships. We're going to move them on the outskirts here. We're going to let the PInhead chill right in the center. We're going to get a gut storm over here. Oh yeah, we're getting a really big spread on this one, ladies and gents. Going to get a gut storm over here, and I'm going to put the aerial destroyer right over the PInhead. And this is what we are going to be sitting in. Alright, now, let's make sure we get all of our ships. I know I want our 2 breachers and our PInhead. And I would like a gut storm, and then the aerial destroyer 7, and then a gut storm, depending on what we get. So let's find out. Should we bring everybody in? Yeah, let's do it. Why not? I think this is going to be great. And here we go. Let's get this battle underway. I'm going to go ahead and hop down here into the aerial destroyer 7. Oh yeah, let's get off the weapon systems. Let's get the interface off. And let's go see what we're dealing with over here. Look at all these restitution primes. Wow, the aerial destroyer 7 with that laser. Okay, we got a lot of missiles. Let's see if these interceptors work. The breacher. There they go. Okay, he's firing his missiles. It's a very slow missile response time, though. My goodness. Let's see where they're going to go. Are they going to actually do the intercepting part? Those restitution primes. Wait a minute. Look where these are going. They were going after our PInhead. Okay, they are going after the missiles. Check that out. Let's see if they get them. Catch them. Oh, they just were not able to catch them. Our aerial destroyer 7 has taken just a huge beating. It's falling out of the air. That's the first time we've seen that. Our gut storms. Wow. We really took a lot of damage across the board. Huge alpha strikes from both sides there. Those restitution primes may be weak, but that alpha strike they have was devastating. Look at this. Our poor little breacher class support ships just got eaten alive. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Touche. Touche, Dark Angels. And look at the PInhead. What are you doing, friend? Alright, well, let's correct the battle here. That was a very quick battle, by the way. Let's repair everybody up so we can do a take 2 on that. Give this fleet another chance. Let's go after this 119 force square. I don't know, that sounds rather lovely, doesn't it? Heading towards the fleet. The old Dark Angels. So in this battle, it looks like I've got everybody spread out, by the way, already. All the fleets set up. Looks like we are going to be going up against 2 Harriers and a Judicator. Interesting. I don't think we've seen that yet. Now, we have seen the Harriers. We know these Harriers pack a pretty good punch. So, we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to give this another try. What I want to do is focus on the PInhead. I want to see what the PInhead does because it flipped upside down. I don't know what was going on there. And it seems like our breacher class missile boats. It seems like they targeted our own ships. I don't know if they have identify friend or foe modules on there or what, but we're gonna find out. Here we go. Let's start this baby. Let's get on down there. I don't know what I just clicked. Interface off really quick. Interface on. Let's get off everything. Okay, here's the pinhead. Oh, pinhead. Dang it, that bug is driving me crazy. Where it spawns things under the water. All right, I thought I had everybody good there, but apparently not. Well, we've got our gut storms here. Lambs are trying to take these missiles out, but it is just too close to the missiles. The enemy has gotten what looks to be the Harrier and Adjudicator. All right, well, the AI is dead on the Harrier. That was really quick, wasn't it? Very quick. Let's take a look at our health. Yeah, one of our breachers is down by a little bit, but not much. Let's get a good look at the Adjudicator, by the way. This is a pretty cool build. It's very oblong. I'm just throwing it out there. It's very oblong. It's like a Oscar Mayer wiener or some such, like a flying sideways. Okay, what do we have going on here? You aren't moving, my friend. Aerial destroyer is over here. Has he fallen out of the... Interesting. What's happening with the aerial destroyer? Something's knocking it out of the air. Like, I'm gonna have to watch that and see what happens next time. I really don't know. You know what would be really cool in this game? A replay feature where you could replay the same battle and like look at it from different angles. You know, because sometimes you're just baffled by what goes on. All right, getting a little bit of lag. Oh, that... Ladies and gentlemen, did we just lose a... Okay, no. I thought we lost a gut storm. Apologies. Here's one of our gut storms. There's the other Harrier. Now, those Harriers have advanced custom cannons, which can, you know, really pack a punch. And the different fuse and shell options on those advanced custom cannons are... It's just a huge myriad of options. It's insane. I've only played with like 2 or 3 of them. I think the EMP and the frag one, I don't know, and the explosive. There's so many options, so much to play with. Okay, Pinhead, what are you doing? Are you going to shoot? You're out of ammo. Oh, there he goes. Whee! All right, let's see if the missiles are going to come over here and hit this guy. Show me that you're effective. Show me the money. Give me that money shot. All right, here come the missiles. Oh, they're coming up for a butt hit. These are good. A lot of enemies are weak in the butt zone, you know. Sometimes they protect themselves with Hanes. Oh! Dropping some mines on the Aerial Destroyer 7. Frags exploding. Yikes. Yikes. That was a good hit. Aerial Destroyer 7 is just down in the water. I'm going to have to see what's causing that. It could be the initial Alpha Strike. I don't know. It could be that initial Alpha Strike from the enemy that's maybe just targeting the Aerial Destroyer 7 based on its makeup. Harrier is down by a lot. It is down by, just joking, 1,100 blocks. Hey, it's still a good bit, though. All right, let's see. Health-wise, we are doing okay. One of our breachers is down to 87%. Now, here's the problem I noticed with the Pinhead. It does this a lot. It's essentially never able to shoot its cannon, and I believe this cannon is actually stationary. I don't think this can swivel. So, it's kind of ineffective, to be honest. Although the missiles aren't bad. The missiles are okay. And here's the Harrier. It looks like it's on the verge of just being completely taken out. The Aerial Destroyer 7 is able to focus that laser on here, even though there is smoke coming out of the Harrier. But one of the gut storms is extremely close and hitting it with its missiles, which is great. Oh, Dark Angels. Can you handle the heat? You know what's going to be fun? Seeing the boss ship of the Dark Angels. Who knows what we're going to expect from that? Okay, Gut Storms, you're doing good. You're doing very well. Breachers are really the only ones who've been hit, or who have still have sustained damage at this point. Where is everybody? Where is everybody? Oh man, we are really far in the battle. Look at this. Look how spread out we are. Interesting. I don't know what happened there. I think the Harrier may have had some propulsion issues from damage we did to it, so it was just flying off into the distance. That's what I'm going to tell myself to make me sleep better at night. Alright, let's see how we're doing. Very well so far. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is where we are going to stop this episode. Really what I want to do is I want to bring in some bigger and better ships. I want to bring in more effective ships. You know, these ships that we brought in were first-time ships from people who we haven't seen ships from before. So, you know, I like to give different ships a chance, you know, especially from different authors, ones we haven't showcased on the channel here yet. And that is kind of what we did today with the Breacher and the Pinhead. But I believe for the next episode, we may dip into the large queue, pull out a really large ship. We've got 4.5 million metal, so I'm thinking, why not? Let's just see what kind of destruction we can bring forth to the Dark Angels. So ladies and gentlemen, if you've enjoyed this episode, definitely give it a thumbs up. If you have any comments or suggestions, definitely feel free to leave those below, and I will do my best to answer those, and we can get our powwow on. So anyways, ladies and gents, look forward to seeing you in the next episode. So until then, hope you all have a great one. Take it easy and stay classy.